All this work that we're doing, brothers, for this ministry, eventually is going to pay off. You better believe it, man. It's going to pay off like you'll never believe, okay? And by the way, we're the highest value male on this planet. The men of the Lord, the men of this truth, the hopeful elect of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, the highest value male there is.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Kakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS, whom rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua. And what I want to get into, all right, today, just going into a lesson of a lot can happen. The devil has so much going on, all right? The devil has, so much propaganda, so many psyops, so many agendas, so many, distractions all happening at once, all right? But we have to continue to watch. This is why Yahweh Shai, gave a commandment, to watch, The Apostle Peter, gave a commandment to watch, okay? Because we have to watch for prophecy, man. And that's why prophecy has to remain, at the forefront of the ministry. Jake would love, to turn the ministry, all right, into black culture, petty arguing, clout, preeminence. But nah, man, all right, we're gonna keep the main thing in this prophecy. Okay, now you read the book of Matthew chapter 26 verse 41. It says, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. Okay, the spirit is willing. And see, when we talking about being in the spirit, okay, how do we be in the spirit? How do we stay in the spirit? Through obedience, okay? Through faith. Because faith produces obedience, but faith in what? Faith in what's written. Okay, faith in what's written in the scriptures, man. All right, and as we walk and rehearse the righteous acts, all right, we're being in the spirit of the kingdom to come, which makes us hasten these times. Okay, there's a lot of people, all right, because if you're in the flesh, you're only concerned about the right now. You see, the spirit is concerned about the righteous kingdom to come. The flesh is concerned about the right now. Okay? And a lot of people, that's why Yahweh Shai said the flesh is weak. A lot of people are finna bend the knee. Okay? Because their mindset is in the flesh. Okay? But see, being in the spirit, we understand that we was told that, look, y'all gonna eat. They gonna starve. Y'all gonna eat. Like, you have to be in the spirit, okay, and make decisions based off that, man. Okay, but if that's not in you, okay, you got to understand. I think, we can take for granted, that we understand this gospel and that we know, it's certain precepts that's within us, man. When things happen, a precept come to mind. You can be all right in Arby's, something happen, you like, damn, you'll think of a precept. Okay, that's because, hey, that's being in the spirit. The word is being instilled in us, man. But there's a lot of people, when these things happen, all they have is the flesh. Okay, survival mode. Okay, so that's why we watch. Okay, and that keeps us in the spirit. Cause what are we watching for? A prophecy, man. Now I got this video. Okay, I want to play two parts of it. Real quick. Like I said, a lot can happen, man. You're going to see a lot of videos going out about, these certain circulating stories about, they planning this, they planning that. But eventually we know this devil going to go with his move, man. Okay, this devil has to go with his move. He can't just keep pump faking, man. He going to have to go for what he know, man. Okay? So I'm going to play this. I'm going to play these two pieces and then we'll get back to a few precepts, Lord will.
There are signals in the intelligence community, in certain military circles and military intelligence and so on, that indicates something big is about to go down. So check out this 2-minute video here from Patrick Humphrey, and then we'll be back to continue the discussion.
This is major breaking news. We have top U.S. military personnel coming out and giving emergency warnings for the U.S. government, the U.S. economy, and the U.S. national security are all under threat right now. And a top U.S. major just came out from the Space Force and gave this emergency warning that we are in danger and we need to change things very soon before it's too late. All right, we also have these very strange and suspicious posts coming from official government recruiting Twitter accounts and X accounts. All right, this is happening right now. The U.S. Space Force recruiting account is also posting very suspicious things and very strange things about our banking and how we need to get our money out and how there could be attacks on U.S. satellites. All right, all this stuff is happening right now, and they're getting us ready for some kind of big cyber attack or cyber event on the banking system. That's what I'm worried about. And in the aftermath of all this, there will be a CBDC, central banking digital currency, that is implemented and is used to track and trace and essentially enslave you. That is what we are on the precipice of right now. That's why gold is surging. If you haven't been following gold, and if you haven't been listening to my advice like I've been saying for years, to stock up on gold, silver, copper, lead, brass, you know what I'm talking about. All these things are going to be more critical and more valuable in the future, and gold is reaching all-time highs right now. It just broke the record. It was over $2,100. It went down a little bit, but it is spiking right now. People know that there is instability in the economic markets, in the monetary system, in the bond markets. All these things are collapsing right now, and you need to be getting yourself ready, because the aftermath of this collapse is going to be devastating. It's going to be chaos, potentially riots in major cities, and even potentially martial law scenarios could be declared if things get out of control.
All right, so there you go. Again, Patrick.
And prophecy, goes into all those things, man. 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. Okay. They shall desire to go into a city which shall not be able. That's martial law. All right. For lack of bread, how neighbors are going to be utilizing the sword. All right. Modern day sword, the gun. Okay. All right. Against their neighbors for lack of bread. Like all this in the scriptures, man. Okay. And we know, if that dollar collapse, man, people are going to lose it, man. People are going to absolutely lose it, man. Okay. Everybody go broke at the same time. Okay, people are gonna absolutely go nuts. All right, but that's a thing. All right, that's gonna happen, man. Okay, and these devils, like I say, there it's gonna be a planned collapse. All right, because they want the chaos, man. Okay, and I want to touch on this, and then we'll. Alright, I want to go into this, and he goes into America's readiness for, certain disasters, man. Because this guy here, he's a disaster specialist. He pretty much, reacts. He is with a company, that reacts, to disasters. He shows up, when disasters happen to, try to provide aid. He goes into, they're going to discuss the readiness of America. Okay, if major disaster happen, man. All right, so we're going to let him talk, and then I'll say we'll get back into some precepts, man.
We kept the lights on. We kept the waters from the OR room. Life support system stayed online. Nothing failed. Well, one thing failed, but I'll explain to that. But they did 17 life-saving surgeries as a result of us pushing in early, and just how everything lined up, from additional fuel to that they were short on, the additional pumps that would have flooded the room that they were short on, taking the trees out so that the access, because otherwise the trees would have blocked the walkways in. raising the flags, moving a bunch of stuff so the helicopters can land, both the military and the Coast Guard. The only thing that failed was not on our part, was after the 5th day of the storm just hovering over this area, they started running out of food. So the military started bringing in, the milk, the eggs, the perishables, the frozen stuff. And so we were unloading the helicopters, the Apache helicopters, with food to keep that part going as far as the hospital. There's been many, many challenges in many areas that I think that just that we've come across. It goes on.
I mean, this is really fascinating. I appreciate you sharing all this with me, but I'm curious, what's your assessment of the overall readiness of America for disasters? And I guess, you deal with a lot of hospitals, but I'm wondering about cities. I'm wondering about first responders. I'm wondering about communications. What is, because I live in Texas and we had the big power grid outage in 2021 because of cold weather and the power producers were not winterized. I mean, we almost lost the whole Texas grid, frankly. What's your assessment of the readiness of our country?
Well, Texas, it's a perfect example. I was on the ground day one, and my SUV sliding all over the highway. So, I mean, we had everything from San Marcos, Texas, through parts of Houston, obviously Dallas-Fort Worth area, that whole area, everything got smashed. We had stuff in Austin, pipes frozen everywhere. So the thing was, and then parts was very difficult to get. I mean, I had a team coming out of Chicago, pipe fitters and, fire suppression guys to come in and change the heads. So the parts were all taken up.
Yeah.
Here's the thing that people don't understand is when you see a hurricane hits a coastline, you have maybe like 30-mile impact zone. You have maybe 80 miles that it stretches out to. And you have line workers coming in as far as Ohio, Indiana, all those areas pushing down into a small coastal area in Florida. What people don't understand is that if our grid gets hit and you hit only like 9 substations or certain level substations, you're not going to get parts. Most of the parts are produced in China. A small part of it is produced in South Korea, a little bit of it in Germany. Most of our stuff's produced outside our country. That's just kind of how we went, which is extremely dangerous. Because if you see how much work has to be done to get a power grid up, which normally takes about a month in a small little area, if we get hit on a much more national basis, the EMP Commission shows it's 2 years out, right? You put 60 days, 90 days, say 90 days. I think the stats are 60, 65% of Americans are dead. You have 1 year, 90%. And
yeah,
so,
I've seen that was a government report, actually.
It's a government report. That's just one. Then you have 4 areas that got targeted recently with the cyber attacks on just the water alone.
Yes.
Right? You look at the southern border, and every night, the BORTAC unit that I work with, the guys that oversee all the cameras that I work with that are personal friends of mine, they're getting up to 1,000 Chinese nationals coming through just one little small sector per night. Okay?
Wow, that's a flood.
Just per night.
So, just to speak on what he was saying, all right, first dealing with if the grid goes down, if it's a major EMP cyber attack, which they've been throwing that out, for a while. But if the grid goes down, he said after 60 to 90 days, 60% of Americans will be gone. And you gotta think, this is a very pampered society, man. Okay? This society is so pampered, it went from not growing your food and not hunting for your food to now, you don't even have to cook your food, now to where you don't even have to go to the actual restaurant to get the food. So it's like this convenience, has created a very feeble society, man. A extremely feeble society, man. And that's why we're going to need the Lord. Okay, that's why the Lord is going to have to be our portion in these times, man. Okay, because hey, it's going to be bad. Okay, and he said for a year, over 90% of the people be out of here, man. Okay, so that just shows you, it's just so much can happen. So much can happen, man. And these devils can, just they got so many. It's so much propaganda. It's so many. They can blame it on. On terrorist groups. They can blame it on so many people. They can blame it on Russia. They can blame on Iran. There's so much that they can do. That's why, I entitled this "A Lot Can Happen," man. Okay? You see? A lot of things can happen, man. All right? So, we have to have our minds geared towards any day now. Like, they got to be our mindset. Okay? Like I said, we still handle our business, day to day. We make sure, we handle our obligations of this society. Okay? Well, we always have to have in our mind that any day now it can go haywire, and just spiral out of control. Then he says 1,000 Chinese nationalists coming through the border every night. Okay, 1,000 every night. Okay, in 10 days. Okay, that's 100,000. All right. These devils are gearing up, man. You see, like that great wrath we always speak about in Revelation 12, he's booting up for that, man. Like a madman sparing none, he's booting up for that, man. Okay? So let's keep watching.
And they're single males. And so this, to me, just seeing it over the last 3.5 years, right? The documentary Border Battles that I was part of with Turning Point USA, that's a 6-part docuseries. I also took RFK recently down to the border, and that video you can see on YouTube called Midnight. This, to me, just seeing it over the last 3.5 years, right? The documentary Border Battles that I was part of with Turning Point USA, that's a 6-part docuseries. I also took RFK recently down to the border, and that video you can see on YouTube called Midnight at the Border, 20 minutes. I took the left, the right, the middle to the border. People like, why? I'm like, because I don't care whose platform it is. There's a Trojan horse moving into the United States.
Yes. And
people really don't realize it until it's too late, right?
And from what I'm hearing from you is that America's readiness is just not anywhere where it needs to be.
No, if you just look at 94, the Northridge quake, 7 seconds. The entire fire department was maxed out. 7 seconds. They all had to push all the paramedics, all the EMS units to Kaiser Permanente because part of the hospital collapsed and there was a mass casualty event there, right? So if we have a massive earthquake or you have a massive issue that that happens on our soil, we cannot respond. There's not enough engines, there's not medics, there's not enough people. That's why I always tell people, you got to get your home and house in order, right? Get some EMT training, get some basic CPR, basic first aid, right? Prepare yourself, get a kit, get organized, because the help's not coming. Look at Maui. We were the day there, the day after there, we showed up at the EOC, we showed our credentials. Here's the power we have, cabling, electricians, all the areas that we can provide and assist them with. And it was the first time I actually got a strong arm that said, no, we got this handled. And I was like, you know what, with all due respect, you don't have it handled. Looking around your yard and how it's set up, there's no way that you have the equipment, manpower, or resources to respond to that burn zone, having worked wildfires my entire life. And again, that wasn't a wildfire, that was one big structure fire.
So he's gonna go into Maui, all right, but he makes the point that all right, there's not enough people, there's not enough, all right, first responders to respond to the events that could potentially happen in America, man. And as a matter of fact, let's just go into the prophecy, man. This all speaks to prophecy, man. Okay? You think people are gonna be proud in that day? Okay? Not gonna be no police at your disposal, firefighters at your disposal, okay, ambulance at your disposal, okay. Yeah, see, it's finna be a whole new America, man. All right, it's finna be a whole new America, man. But let's get some precepts. All right, let's get this real quick since we spoke about in 2nd Esdras. Okay, just want to make a few points on this. This is 2nd Esdras 15. Okay. The 2nd Esdras 15 and I started 15. Well, I started 16. It says, 2nd Esdras 15 and 16 said, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Okay? They shall not regard their kings nor princes, because look, it's going to be riots, and then there's going to be not enough people to respond, all right, to the uproar of the people, man. So the course of their actions is going to be in their own power. These nations, these cities are going to be self-governed. Okay, these towns, hey, it's going to go back, all right, to ancient world style, man. All right, people are going to be getting spoiled. You know, men are going to be taking houses over, man. You see, taking families over, man. This is why, hey, we have our main thing is getting favor with our power, man. All right, so we have a hedge, man. And when the need be, the Lord lift a standard. Okay, so let's go from there. And it's a lot of our people that are still caught up in the distraction, like the Will Smith and Jada, and you know, all these distractions, man. Okay, the P Diddy, like that's them the main topics amongst niggas, man. Okay, or sports. You see, that's the only thing that's on the nigga mind. Okay, but this thing is going to happen, and it's going to happen all of a sudden if you're not watching. Okay. This is Isaiah 30. And I started 12. Isaiah 30 and 12 said, wherefore thus said the Lord, wherefore thus said the Holy One of Israel, because you despise this word, because the words of the prophets, and the Lord has it to where the word is going out full throttle. Brothers are prophesying more than ever. The you know, from the apostles on down. All right, this word is going out more than ever. Okay, and our people, they despise it. All right, Jake despises it. Jake really has a hatred for this word. Okay, and it says, and trust in oppression, but they trust in this system. They complain about the system, but they trust in it. They complain with their words, but they trust in this system with their actions. Niggas gonna go vote. All right, niggas gonna mask up if needed. Niggas gonna juice up if needed. Okay, they trust in this oppressive system, man. Okay, and perverseness and stay thereon, which is the pen. Therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach, ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking coming suddenly at an instant. So this collapse is going to come at a sudden. Okay, and prophecy gonna kick niggas' teeth down their throat, man. Okay, it's gonna come at an instant, man. All right, and that's why Yahushua told us to be in this mindset. All right, and we'll get out of here. This is the book of Luke 21, and all right, this is Luke 21 and 34. And it says, and take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with some fighting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that they come upon you unawares. Like, we can't get too caught up in this thing, man, because things are, you know, hey, things are pretty much business as usual, man. You know, it's still that, you know, that partying BS spirit. You know, it's easy to get drugged and, you know, pulled back into the affairs of Babylon, man, and lose sight. You know, speaking, you know, from experience, man, it's easy to get lost, you know, in the hustle and bustle of Babylon, the party and parlay spirit of Babylon, man. Okay, but nah, man, we gotta take heed to that, man. Hey, we finna be uncomfortable. Okay, and that's why we gotta know how to function in uncomforts, man. You see, we not in that festive spirit. You know, it's a balance to everything, man. All right, but hey, you gotta be in that David. It's time to be in that David Goggin spirit, man. Stay hard, man. You know, Verse 35 said, for as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Watch ye, and say it's going to come as a snare, as a trap. Okay, because people, all right, this convenience is a major part of the trap. Okay, and this chaos is going to be a part of the trap, man. Okay, well, for people going to beg for a solution. You see, and it's going to be their seal. All right, it says, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. So we're commanded to watch, you know, constantly, man. You know, and that keeps us on edge, man. That keeps us on high alert, man. You know, remember, we're spiritual soldiers, man. All right, we ain't come here to set up shop and get lax, man. Nah, man, we here on the mission. Okay, and we have to pay attention to the things that's going on, man, and move accordingly. All right, so Lord will you, brothers. All right, and you sisters were edified. To the next time I say shalom. All praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. All right, to the next time, shalom.